Hey guys, guess what? This is going to be the first video for Denlong coming back on the channel.
You're right. Oh, I'm getting it.
He'll see it when the video comes out. Then it'll really piss him off because he didn't hear it. Okay, but in all seriousness, messing with Scott aside, even though as much as we love it, here we are with Sword Souls, Yangzing, Tenyi. You know, that's just too much. I've just been calling it Wyrm Synchro at this point, like Dragon Link, so either you agree with me or not, it's Wyrm Synchro in my eyes now at this point. So let's get to it, shall we?
This guy trying to go to...
Starting off, our 3 Ecclesias, because it's a free summon when your opponent has more cards on the field than you do, and basically gets to your Moye, your Taya, and all that as fast as possible.
To make sure I'm clear, I have to declare to gain
3 Moye, because this is basically the card you want to see turn 1, and basically this is the card that gives you your advantage when it is Synchro summoned into with Shangjing to search and draw 1, so you gotta have this for your pluses.
Let's say it's a shitty ultimate.
It is a shitty ultimate compared to other...
3 Taya, because this is basically the card you always want to see any turn after turn 2. Since this guy will make free synchros, because your stuff is going to already probably have Sword Soul names or Wyrm attributes in the graveyard ready to activate his effect. 3 Long Wand, because we want to make our level 10s, and our level 10s tend to be some of our better stuff next to our level 8s. 2 Ashuna. Basically, he's the main starter for your Tenyi builds of the deck, because this is basically the card you want to see if you want to go into a lot of your turns where it gives you an extra synchro or 2, because you know, summoning him and then summoning Anhara is basically just a free level 8 without you having to normal summon your Moye yet. 2 Bashuda, because this card is a great removal that's non-destruction. 2 Adhara, because we like to unbanish our stuff and reuse them again. Then the 1 Shathana, because we gotta have a level 4 Wyrm monster that our Yangzing and our Tenyi stuff can summon if we want to go into, like I said before, Denlong. And speaking of Denlong, here's our small, quote-unquote, Yangzing package. We got the Chi-Wen, because he summons himself, the Jiao-Tu, the Bi-Yen, and the Suwani. So when you're doing your Denlong combos, you're basically able to either send these cards to grave or summon them out, and then comboing these guys with either 9 Pillars or Blackout, turns out is pretty good.
I had 4 last rounds.
Because then you're getting their effects off while you're still negating or stopping your opponent. 2 Ash Blossom, because we don't like our opponent searching. 2 Ghost Ogre, because it seems like a lot of the decks nowadays want to be monster effects that have to go off. So this has basically been bumped up to keep materials off your opponent's field or to hit your opponent's gigantic sprite, because for a reason a 2022 card has a frigging when did they stop making those cards where they have to be on field for the effect to go off? I forgot. Because basically gigantic sprite is that it has to stay on field for that to go off. So if you Ghost Ogre it, well, there goes their free level 2 and lock and all that.
Untap everything. So you have, so this would be 5.
3 Emergence, because free Sword Soul materials for Taya, Long Wand, or all that, or your Moye. So you basically have 6 copies of everything because of this. I'm surprised this didn't get hit. 2 Summit, because we like to see our stuff come back, either bringing back one of our Synchros to help turn the game, or bringing back one of the level 4 lowers, or yeah, mostly level 4s like Taya or Moye, to basically get back into the game and give us some advantage. 2 Heavenly Circle, because we can use it to basically avoid hand traps like Valor and Imperm, you know, stuff that target really, to dodge out, get the token, get a summon, because remember the token is what gives us the tuner. So you can basically use that to get Shathana, summon Shathana, and oh, you still got materials to go into something like a level 8 or something else. Harvest Feather Duster because we don't like back row. Monster Reborn because it's nice to just have more revival. Call by the Grave because we don't like hand traps. 2 Blackout because it is a Sword Soul name, and on top of that, because of the bigger Yang Zing package, it basically still gives us the pluses to pop our opponent stuff and pop our own monster. Then of course, because we have Denlong, 9 pillars. The Sword Soul's always had a problem with stuff like evenly matched and Dark Ruler, so this helps us to hopefully cancel that out.
Yeah, so you get one.
Onto the extra deck. 2 Monk, because we got to send our Tenyi stuff to the grave somehow. 1 Shaman, because basically we're swinging with Monk. It's a pop. The Long Dong extends our combos to give us extra synchros on the board, and on top of that, it searches, counter trap, because it wasn't bad enough that dinosaurs abused it back then. Now Sword Souls got to abuse it now.
It does say fly.
1 Yazi, because it's Yazi. Boxia, because we like to spin stuff back. 2 Shishao, because it's Shishao. We got to have our monster negation on top of that when he synchro summoned your search. The Whale, because Moye can surprisingly go into this and blowing up all your opponent's stuff that's in either attack position or double attacking for piercing tends to be pretty good.
Oh my god.
Speaking of attacking multiple times, Striker, Berserker, the Tenyi
Rogue's fastest makes it so creatures on block.
can help you get over a bunch of really good monsters, and on top of that, banishing a monster that's activated as effect is good. Dragite, because we like to also negate the opponent's spells and traps. Chao Feng, because, yeah, where is he? Because Long Dong's back. It's basically another material to go into Chao Feng, and Chao Feng to basically say, hey, you can't use light and darks because of Xiaotu, or light and darks because of Suwani, or light and fires because of Suwani, or light and this, because, basically the level changing and this locking out attributes is pretty good. The Baron, because it's Baron. Long you want if you want to banish your opponent's summoning or your opponent's spells and traps. Then of course the big Chungus, because since everything's being banished, he gets big, decreases all your opponent's power, and you're basically swinging for the fences. But hey, that's Wyrm Synchro, or if you want to be technical, Sword Soul with Yang Zing with Tenyi, but of course no one wants to say that mouthful. So again, this is now Wyrm Synchro, and there's nothing you can tell me about it. And for all the Genshin Impact fans out there, my token, because the token's water. But anyway, that is Wyrm Synchro for everybody, so hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time.